about me. Yeah, here we go. We swung by, and that's where I first, we first met him.
Private funders, which we prefer, or government funders?
No, by all means.
Thank everyone for coming over to this event. I'd like to thank Tamuk for allowing us to use this venue. Compliments of Dr. Robert Bella, the president of Tamuk, Dr. Rico Silva, Vice President of Student Affairs, Henry Burgos, Chief Administrative Officer, and Dr. James Palmer, Provost and Senior Vice President of the university. I'd like to also recognize some county officials that are on their way. I believe the County Judge Rudy Maria, his spouse, will be showing up. I also want to recognize some of the board members that are here present. I believe Mr. Jose Pereira is here. I believe Ms. Frances Garcia is here. Thank you for showing. And I believe Mr. Vic Casas is on his way as well. I also want to thank the Board of Directors of Community Action and as well as the program directors. I believe we have S.P. Garcia here. We have Chichi. We have Ms. Elizabeth Alguera Garcia. We have Ms. Becky Raymond. I don't want to leave out Ms. Ann Awalt, but I have to give thanks to Ms. Ann Awalt for holding this under her breath for almost a year. You know, we've had this event scheduled several times, and for 3 or 4 reasons we've had to postpone it. You know, there's a saying in Spanish, mi pecho no es bodega. And in English that translates to, my chest is not a warehouse. But Ann did a good job of keeping that down into the secrets and not letting this out, this event. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pass the mic on to Ms. Ann Awalt. She has a couple of words. She'll be introducing a special guest, and we'll let Ms. Awalt take it away. Thank you.
You know, I usually go on their website and figure out, you know, where they went to college and, you know, what jobs they had, that kind of stuff. And I figure y'all can do that yourself. You don't need me to do that. I've got the honor of introducing Senator Morgan Lamantia this afternoon, and so I knew I didn't want to do like a recitation of where she went to school. And then I remembered something that my mom said. When I was young, my mom told me that whoever your friends were, you could judge a person's character by who they hung around with. And later when I got older and I got interested in government and certain laws or bills that were passed, I decided you could judge an elected official by the kind of work they did passing bills. It was the same thing as, you know, the friends you hang around with. So I always judge elected officials by the bills they author, the bills they co-author, the bills they help pass, and the bills that they work on but don't quite pass. So that's what I'd like to talk to you briefly about today, because it was Senator Lamantia's first regular session and 295 special sessions that followed that. So if you look at the bills that Senator Lamantia worked on or passed, they include bills for our family violence centers. They include bills for our small employers that have very few employees to make it so that they can access health care. There are bills for parenting and pregnant students. There are bills for municipal and county housing authorities. There are bills for windstorm insurance. And also a recognition of a group near and dear to my heart, the Greg Luna Scholars. So if you don't know about the Greg Luna Scholars, grab me after this and I'll tell you all about them. But basically when you step back, and this of course was not the entire body of her work, but when you step back and you look at this, what you see is that Senator Lamantia worked on bills that really spoke to the communities that we serve, underrepresented and marginalized communities. and she worked on bills basically that spoke to and for people that cannot speak for themselves. And for that, we as constituents and on behalf of our agency, we are extremely grateful. So would you please join me in welcoming Senator Morgan Lamantia.
Being a senator, first-time senator, I got to do a lot of things for the first time. The session was incredibly important, and I learned a lot of really complicated topics, spoke with a lot of very interesting people. But one of my favorite things of being a senator is being able to deliver these types of resolutions. Because these resolutions, they pass through the Senate just like a bill. We file them, first we do our research, we file them, then they have to be voted on by the entire Senate on the floor. They're signed by the Lieutenant Governor and the Secretary of the Senate, and they are kept in a record at the state capitol forever with all the other bills. So it is incredibly important who we decide to honor with these resolutions. And we always try to find those, either people, individuals, or companies, entities, that embody everything that Texas represents. Embody the hopes of Texas, embody the hard work, and the community, and the just self-sacrifice that we all hope and love to see in Texas. And I can't think of anybody that embodies what Texas is, what Texas hopes to be, and what Texas will become than Dr. O'Ryan. In making these resolutions, we do a lot of research. We want to, one, make sure we do the facts right, one, make sure we understand, and we highlight all the important things. And every time I learned something new about Dr. O'Ryan, I was floored and so impressed. I mean, everything that he's done is just so amazing. Coming from Cuba, going to medical school in Spain, then going to New Jersey for his residencies and internships and at Harvard-related schools, and then deciding to come to Kingsville, Texas, and start working with community action and just completely devoting himself to our South Texas communities is just absolutely amazing, fantastic. And the work he's done for our families, for pediatrics, cannot be equaled or paralleled. And working with a group like Community Action, just like Ann said, you know who you are by by your work and who you surround yourself by. And anyone who chooses to surround themselves by Community Action and the hard work that y'all do, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing and fantastic. So, and I know Dr. O'Ryan couldn't be here today, but please tell him we are so grateful for everything he's done for our community and for your family, for continuing to serve and give back to our community, because you as well are involved in community action here in South Texas. Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot of information on this resolution, but one of the most important paragraphs here says that Dr. O'Ryan exemplifies the skill, compassion, and dedication that are the hallmarks of the best physicians, and he has earned the deep gratitude of his patients and the great admiration of his colleagues. I think that's true, and I think everyone here agrees with that statement as well. So thank you to Dr. O'Ryan. This is the least that we can do to honor him and his work and your family and everything that you guys have done for South Texas. And there are 2 copies. So thank you.
It's, can I
Yes.
get short speech?
Sure.
It's, obviously, it's a privilege and a great honor to pick this up for him. He got very sick on Monday, and I guess he's just exhausted right now and hasn't been able to get up. So the thing is, for me, it's a great responsibility, but at the same time, a very great honor to get this on his behalf. I will let him know. And obviously working for KCOS, for him it has been for all his life, for all children, especially for the kids of South Texas, to be able to forward part of their lives after so many generations, starting from my previous up until now. So I think all of his staff have seen that in him as well, right? Okay. Thank you so much.
great staff. You know, the doctors are only going to be as good as their support team. So I'd like to acknowledge all of the pediatric staff that assist Dr. Orion and that travel back and forth to Falfurrias. Would you please stand and be recognized? I know that you guys work till Dr. Orion sees the last patient, and that could be at 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And I've been in my office when the staff is still in Falfurrias at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. in the evening. For that, Community Action thanks you from the bottom of our heart, and thank you for your dedication to our patients and assisting our providers where it comes most important, our patients. Thank you, guys. We have some closing remarks, and I'd like to thank Dr. Vandana. Come on, I know she probably hit 100 miles an hour coming over from Alice.
That's the normal speaking.
So at this time, I'd go ahead and call up Dr. Kamat to do some closing remarks.
I get to give this honor. It's really an honor to be here at this event, and it's too bad Dr. Orion could not be here. Dr. Orion, I don't have to just tell about him to y'all. Praising him or telling about him is like shining a flashlight to the sun. We could make a Netflix series on him with what he has done. He's made a difference to at least four generations in this area. He came from Cuba to Spain to New Jersey, all the way to Kingsville. He has put Energizer Bunny to shame. I can say that, and it suffices to say that I want to be Dr. Orion when I grow up. So this is for 50 years of his service, and please accept it. And I'm sure he will be sharing it with his staff. And thank you all for coming. And the politicians say no child will be left behind, and Dr. Orion actually did not leave any child behind when he saw them at the clinic. So thank you all for supporting me.
Dr. Orion, surprise, congratulations on your 50th. Sorry you're not here. We hope you get better soon. I did say a joke that we know a good doctor, Dr. Orion. You might want to check with him. Anyway, congratulations. Merry Christmas, everything. So here we are. Let's do it.
Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. Hoy por ser día de tu santo, te las cantamos aquí. Despierta, mi bien, despierta, mira que ya amaneció. pay those $50 that I owe later. Okay, just let you know.